Elves dance. A village set inside a giant fairy ring. A weak kind of magic provides the dwellers with all their hearts could desire. Embarrassingly, most simply wish for peace, happiness, and a long, untroubled life.
Hello everyone and welcome to Elves Dance. Got a bit of a choice on what to transfer here. We've got a couple of high level dragons, level 10 orcs, but I'm going to go with the vampire again for a couple of reasons.
So be it.
Here we go again. First thing I'm going to do is just build the library just so I can get the vampire working while I sort everything else out. We're up against two keepers here who are allied against us.
You must build a treasure room to store gold.
Usually this would be a cause for worry, except for a couple of things. First of all, the enemy are even between them, the enemy are limited to less creatures than you. And second of all,
a new spell has been researched.
This level's pretty well known for the AI being completely crippled on one of these sides. Just pointing out some of the specials here. Each side has a gem seam. They're of limited value to us, but it does give the computer an advantage here. There's a graveyard to be claimed here, and there are also some specials towards the bottom as well. There's also some heroes battering around which are going to make our life a bit miserable down there, so I won't be going down there at the beginning. As I was saying at this point, if the computer could actually get its act together in this level, and I have played through this level 2 or 3 times trying to get this right, if the computer would actually get its act together, it would have a very distinct advantage on you in this level, due to the fact that you might be able to get more creatures, but that doesn't necessarily mean that you are at a huge advantage. The fact of the matter is that if you have too many creatures and they're doing things that are costing you money, like training, scavenging, etc., you're very quickly going to run out of gold, especially when we're in the situation that we are here, where we essentially have one gem block and it's down a long corridor and hard to reach, whereas the opposition have 2 very easy to reach gem blocks, and they actually have more faces of the gem block available to mine. So
a new spell has been
if the computer did get its act together here, or was being played by a human instead of an AI, there would be some pretty serious cause for concern in this level. As with everything though in these levels, the computer does try and lend you a helping hand in figuring out what to do to beat the level. You've noticed in Hearth you got given the chicken disease. You were given the disease spell for the first time, and that would have been extremely useful in winning if I hadn't decided to mine the whole area with boulder traps, etc.
An entrance has been claimed.
But
a new room has been researched.
In this area there are a ton of heroes to the south, which might sound a bit foreboding, but they're all level 1. As I mentioned, there's also a graveyard down there, so put 2 and 2 together and you end up with basically a free truckload of vampires. There's also 3 vampires actually in the graveyard as well, so the eventual crux of it is that what this level essentially wants you to do to try and overcome the fact that the computer does have an advantage on you here is either vamp it up completely with your graveyard and your with your captured graveyard, etc., and get sort of 6, 8, 10 vampires, train them up and attack. Or the other option, of course, is the imprisoning option, where you can imprison them all and then just end up with an army of skeletons or heroes and try and overwhelm the dungeons one area at a time. The other option, of course, is to transfer a Horned Reaper, blah blah blah, from the previous level and just go steaming down that corridor now and wipe out the enemy keepers before they have a chance to blink. Again, as mentioned back in episode 5, where it isn't a... I think it was episode 5 anyway, where I first had the option. If it isn't an easy option, it would require sort of possessing, pathfinding, etc. to
a new spell has been researched.
Make it happen. I'm going to avoid it for the original playthrough, but may do it in a bonus video towards the end. Level 10 was a bit different in the fact that the Horn Reaper went off by himself, so it wasn't exactly a complex manoeuvre on my behalf.
A new room has been researched.
Making sure to get a really big lair in so that we can attract dragons. And now I'm going to build some small rooms up here, all 3x3, because we don't need them for any other purposes than attracting. So that pretty much means barracks, torture chamber and temple, and they're there just for the point of being there essentially. I'm putting my dragon in the library here, and then I have a bit of a rethink. The scavenger room is available to me here, and due to that I want my creatures that I want to end up scavenging to be as high a level as possible, so I'm going to put them in the into training as early as possible and let the warlocks and vampires sort out the research.
A new room has been researched.
Level 10 vampire and some warlocks will get that done fairly quickly anyway. I do have a beetle and a couple of spiders in the room at the moment, but I'm leaving them alone from it because we do get the temple on this level, and they have a couple of fairly useful sacrifices. The fly, on the other hand, can get eaten by the spider. I'm not really that bothered, but the fact that we have we don't have the temple available yet and that the level's pretty closed off means that I'm not that interested in having the fly around. Just give them a quick zap, just get the... Now as you can see here, here's the first inkling that the AI's failed.
A new spell has been researched.
Blue Keeper has only 3 creatures at this point. Only 3 rooms, so it looks like it's gone inactive again for this level. There's not really a huge amount I can do about that. I mean, the only thing is just keep replaying the level, I suppose, until it acts, but it's happened, as I said, for the last 3 times that I've played this level, so I'm just going to, for this one, it's a well-known facet of the game that the AI sometimes just doesn't react to you whatsoever. In fact, I was fairly lucky that it happened that in one of the earlier levels that the AI reacted to me, so I'm just going to go through the level as if this is something that naturally happens in Dungeon Keeper, which is what it does, so I'll play the level as if that hadn't happened yet.
A new room has been researched.
Torture chamber, so I'm going to plonk this down and get a mistress. Or to try and start attracting mistresses. Get a mistress sounds a bit dodgy. What I will do is show off a couple of tricks that make dealing with the AI a little bit easier.
A new spell has been researched.
Make taking over territory that bit easier that I haven't showed off yet. So.
Your creatures are fighting amongst themselves. Your creatures are falling in battle.
Yeesh. Oh well, you'll see how I deal with that little bit of insubordination next time.